when I first started practicing Zen, I first came to Zen, I was young. I had started sitting, actually started sitting in my mid-teens, but I think I would say in college, I started sitting more mostly daily. I started sitting a fair amount. I had gotten a week's training in transcendental meditation, and that was enough to get me started. And looking back now, I don't think I realized this at the time, but looking back, what I really wanted out of practice was no emotion. I wanted to be flat. And I still, to this day, if I'm caught in or if I'm experiencing an emotion for any length of time, there's a little voice in my head that says, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be over this already. And I think for a lot of us, that's a motivator to practice. I won't feel it so much. But I think the longer I've practiced, the more it seems to me, anyway, from my own experience, that the more I can use my experience to get inside the emotion and give permission for the emotion to be present, things start to open. And experientially, I would say the more our emotions are denied, the more anxiety and depression starts to show. That actually these difficulties with mental health are often not happening because of the emotion. They're really happening because of the denial of the emotion. We deny ourselves, we truncate ourselves and try to make ourselves small. And thinking we don't think it's small, we think it's making ourselves a Buddha. But I think it's an image of a Buddha that we hope is the truth. I know for myself, my image when I learned about Buddha, and I, of course, had heard about Buddhism, and I can kind of remember in ninth grade world history being taught some fundamentals about Buddhism. But when I came to Buddhism, I didn't really know anything about it. All I knew was I wanted a life that was more engaged and alive. But I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know how to find it. And like I said, I think in much of my 20s, especially my early 20s, my viewpoint was if I got rid of the emotions, then I would be clear. This isn't always a popular view in the Zen world, but it now seems to me the more I can get inside my emotions and be them in a true way, and I'm not talking about acting them out. I'm talking about experiencing them and using my practice to inquire about them, that's actually where I find clarity. So Paul, being the practitioner that he is, will eventually get to that sadness. And when he gets to that sadness, my sense is what will open for him is energy and clarity. Oh, now I can understand this. It starts to make some sense because the denial of aspects of who we think we are that we don't like just cuts away experience. So we're living a false life. Zen doesn't promise us a happy life, a rich life, a life of anything other than it's alive and it's real.